Inside this phone, there's a tiny notebook that I've been using a couple of minutes a day, and that helped me break the cycle of ongoing dieting for so many years. And it helped me curb my cravings, it helped me stop not overeating, and also not relying on willpower. So the reason why it was working for me is there's a lot of things with cravings. When you are in a calorie deficit, you probably struggle with a lot of cravings, and you're thinking cravings are your enemy. But what you should be aware of is cravings is actually a very good friend of yours if you know how to understand the signals that it sends to you. So if you are someone at your heaviest weight, feeling exhausted, ongoing diet for so many years, just like myself, this video is definitely for you, and I'm going to show you how this tiny notebook is going to help you curb the cravings so you can finally lose the weight and keep it off for good and be more healthy. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss advice every single week. I use these strategies to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 12 years, and I've helped dozens of men and women just like yourself lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. And if you're constantly tired of losing and gaining the same weight back, I want to help you get to your healthiest self without giving up the foods that you love. Let's imagine that you're an ambitious professional, you have a lot of cravings, and you are just entering out of the boardroom and you are saying, oh, I'm so tired, exhausted, I don't have any confidence, and I really want to have some snacks, even though I know that I have for example, a diet plan and workout plan I need to stick to in order to lose the weight. But let's imagine that that thought is hitting you with you just really want some snacks. So you have to understand, why do you want this snack? For example, if you're someone who's feeling that you are very stressed and you feel like you need someone encouragement, you are already recognizing that thought, and also how do you feel about it? For example, if you're someone who's feeling that you are struggling with the low confidence because you're not sure why it happens, it just makes it very difficult for you to identify what the triggers are. So if you are already recognizing that you probably didn't eat as much at your lunch, it could be a problem, because if you're someone who usually eating some, let's say, some sweets for lunch, that is also giving you some fast digestible carbs that gives you a lot of energy. So if you haven't eaten that sweet thing for your lunch, it could be a struggling thing that affects your mood and your, for example, being in high energy for the boardroom. So that's something that you definitely need to understand, that giving a bit of more energy is going to help you understand what was lacking. And I also want you to be aware of what you can do better for the next couple of days, because if you're already aware that you have a presentation as an ambitious professional and you are not eating slow digestible carb, for example, a pasta carbonara, and then you're eating maybe a protein bar as a snack just to help curbing the cravings, you are automatically just going into the boardroom not prepared with having a lot of energy and mental focus. And maybe you haven't drunk your water that's also helping you feeling more focused. So you can write in that notebook that tomorrow I'm going to be aware of preparing my lunch with the pasta carbonara and having a high protein bar, because it's the sweet thing that's going to curb your cravings and also giving you more energy with drinking that water and also feeling more focused. So I would love to know, what is your biggest takeaway so far? Just comment below and let me know. That's something that I've always been focusing on, that you are recognizing what you are doing, you are asking you why this is important to you, and then you're also asking how you're feeling and then what you could do better. And when you already recognize what you are doing better, you can also just figure out what the triggers are. For example, there's a lot of triggers that can come into play if you are someone that is just struggling with the cravings. For example, if you're seeing a lot of snacks around the boardroom or at your office, it can be a problem for you, because if you are feeling hungry, you're not eating your, for example, pasta carbonara with slow digestible carbs and also fast digestible carbs with the protein, you are automatically just feeling low in energy, hungry, you are struggling with figuring out how you're getting a lot of energy. But if you're already preparing for that, the triggers with all the candy bars and all the sugar is not going to affect you as much because you're already having your blood sugar, stable blood sugar, and that makes it just easier for you to just say no to all these cravings. And also making sure that you are drinking water throughout the day, 4 or 5 liters of water. That definitely helped me curb my cravings. And also another thing that can help you curb your cravings is just drinking, for example, a can of soda. That could be Pepsi Max, it could be Cola Zero, or you can drink a black coffee, because coffee is also going to help you curb your appetite because it reduces the hunger levels that signals to your brain that you need something sweet. But you can trick the sweetness by just reducing the cravings, and also the taste of artificial sugar from Pepsi Max is also going to help you trick your brain that it's not going to need these extra calories from the muffins. I see a lot of people, for example, clients who are working a 9 to 5, they're coming to me and say they're struggling so much with the cravings, and even though they have the diet plan in order and they need to follow it to create the calorie deficit throughout the week, in order to, let's say you have a 500 calorie deficit Monday to Sunday, and it should be easy for you to follow your diet plan, but the cravings, emotional eating, stress can also be a trigger that fucks up your weight loss plan. So you are eating way more calories than you burn. So by understanding these small triggers, you're writing it down into your tiny notebook. So you're going to be recognizing that you need to having your meals prepared and also eating the right amount of foods at the specific time of the day to avoid the later cravings and binges. And then the last thing I want you to be aware of is just feeling grateful what you've been going through, because if you're not stopping up throughout the day and saying to yourself that what you've been doing is very bad, you are not going to change things. So I always focusing on feeling grateful for what I've been doing. So I can say I'm writing into my notebook that I'm grateful that I was recognizing that I felt low energy after going out the boardroom. I felt low energy with just talking with the clients and doing the presentations, and you want to understand why it's important for you to remember that it's, for example, you've been working your face off to get that promotion, and you just not performing at the boardroom is just affecting your, for example, your chance of getting that promotion. So it really sucks if you are just not performing well and you're missing out on career opportunities. And you want to understand how you're feeling. For example, if you're someone who's feeling like very down, you also want to understand that you should do something instead. So you want to use the behaviors of just asking yourself what you can do better. Just like an athlete, you are identifying what have been going on, and then you're trying to get better. So you're just focusing on having your meals prepared, you eat the right time, you're drinking your water, and you are just also making sure that you are understanding the triggers that is stopping you from like following your plans. So that's going to help you a lot. Just being grateful that's what you are recognizing, so you are breaking this ongoing cycle of struggling with binge eating and the cravings. But these are some of the things that I spend like 5 minutes a day every single night just to reflect on the day, because it makes me feel that I am gaining more confidence. If you are doing this things better the next day, then you're writing that you are grateful for what you've been doing, and then it's a whole snowball effect that you are keep doing the same things. You are identifying what is working, and then you're just being very grateful, and you're grateful that you're losing even more weight, and there's like a trigger effect. If you're finally ready to lose the weight for good and become the healthiest version of yourself, just like the client's transformation you saw in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can click that link to apply for coaching with me, and we'll build a plan to help you lose the weight for good and keep it off.